I'm sorry. My dad called at the exact time you hit the record button. So sorry about that. Anyway, great day and get excited. It's your girl, Erin, on the air. And I am here with my friend, Sporty King. Boy, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. As you see, we are already dealing with what we have to deal with.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and that's the blessing. Wait, think about what you said. My father called.
Yes.
I'm always willing to be interrupted when my father calls.
Oh, that was a good one. Yes. Oh, see, now I feel like I need to get up. Be like, hold on. No.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is exciting times. It really is. And just the fact that he called is so amazing. I do believe that the world is taking a pause.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not everybody, but the world in general is taking a pause. And so my dad, I love him. I love my parents. And my mom is normally the one that would call every day. My dad is taking it up where he calls too. He's like, just calling to check on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest of three, and we often spend time down there. And we just haven't really been going as much, but we've been communicating over the phone. So it's been really, really wonderful. Really wonderful to still have some connection with the outside world. So, I'm reaching out to you from Columbia. I know you're in North Carolina, right? You're at home?
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. We can still reach out to people. But with you being so profound as a speaker, I see that you're still doing everything online on Wednesdays, which is wonderful. How are you adapting and adjusting?
Well, the thing is, I've actually taken my Wednesday because I call it Glue Wednesday.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of people say Wednesday is hump day. And I say, well, hump has the connotation of the need to get over. Wednesday is the middle of a traditional 7-day week, and it keeps the week end and the week beginning together. So therefore, it's the glue. We don't need to get over. We need to keep it together. And even when you think of a beginning and end, keeping it together, it puts you in a prayerful mode right there. And so my glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything.
Yes, it does.
So what I've done with that, that commercial really answers the question, because one of the adjustments I've made is I've now moved Glue Wednesday to also Glue Monday and Friday as well. So I'm doing it 3 days a week.
Awesome. Now I saw on there, and I didn't have a chance to listen to everything, but you're also stepping on the gas, right? What tell us about it.
Yeah, the gas is GAS, Glue Alphabet Series. What I do is a combination of doing my Glue broadcast, but now I don't just do the broadcast. Well, I do the broadcast to uplift people's spirits, which I was doing before this pandemic hit. But I don't just do it to uplift spirits. I do it to teach as well, because literacy is very important. And so what I'm doing right now is each message, especially now that I'm doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I've got to come up with a new message every other day. The reason I'm calling it the Alphabet Series is each message will focus on a different letter of the alphabet. So what I do is tell people, give me words that, for instance, if the letter of the alphabet of the message is coming up as the letter G. So when I broadcast the F, I tell people, put words that begin with the letter G in the thread, and I'll get those words into the next meeting.
All right.
So that's why I call it
very interactive and everything.
Right. As well as it's teaching people how they can put a speech together, or a poem, a resume, anything. Because what you do is you set up the words that you want to get to come across in advance. Now, once you go to writing, when you get stuck, you could say, okay, let me look at, because it's called a word bank. Let me look at my bank and see if one of the words that I want to make sure I get across fits right here.
Oh, I love it. So, just speaking of all of that, I asked you, what have you been up to since the last time we had our conversation back in January? And you have, I'm not even going to say moved up, but you've gotten more recognition for your speaking. Tell us all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Wow. And who knows, well, God knows, but who, when this airs, who knows where we'll be then. See, I'm a member of Toastmasters. You're talking about my
Yes.
Toastmasters speech contest.
Yes.
Every year they have a contest called the World Championship of Public Speaking. So you have to, there's 6 levels of competition. You have to win your club, your area, your division, your district. Then there's the semifinals and the finals, which is scheduled still actually to be held in Paris in August. Now, I've made it through club, area, and division. I just finished winning division, but right now we have everything on hold as to whether or not when we're going to have district, which is the step before semifinals. So, so right now it's on hold, waiting to see what's going to happen, because obviously, not only is Paris, international travel, but the association is worldwide. So therefore, we're talking about 4,000 people,
from all over the place.
Exactly. Oof. Right.
Yeah. So the good thing is you're staying on top of it. You are continuously preparing, which is wonderful, because whenever the time comes, it sounds like you'll be ready.
And isn't that what is constantly being asked of us by God? See, sometimes I think we lose track of that. But it's okay to lose track of it. That's where people like you and me come in. We have to be on that line to get people back on track, and not just us two, but, there's several people. I mean, I met you through your husband, who's with the National Guard, it's our military people, our hospitals, our, firemen. And now, as we're seeing, our grocers, our post office people, all of these people are helping people get back on track, because what, God has put us here to be connected, as you said at the beginning.
Yes.
So we just have to, we've lost our connection. Okay, let's get back on connection by valuing what each person does, and then that creates the connection.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, okay, I know, because we're so acquainted with each other, we just jumped right in. But a lot of people don't know how amazing you are. And I know you're too humble to talk about it. So let me just say, I have a couple. Okay, you had 8 books last time we talked.
Still 8.
Is it like 10, 12? Okay, 8.
No, still
for
8.
Now.
The number for new beginnings. 8. The number.
Yes, it's so. Talk about a new beginning. Oh my goodness gracious.
See how everything just comes together? I love it.
Yes. So that is wonderful. But this, I'm telling you right here, stuff happens. And, people might think it's something else when you say something happens.
Exactly.
But situations that unleash our focus and faith. Now, I read this as soon as you gave it to me, and it was amazing. But it sounds like we're having enough stuff for there to be a second edition. I'm just dropping that seed, okay? Planting that seed. Stuff still happens. Okay?
It does. Yes.
Yes, it does. And then the affirmations. So a lot of people probably have caught on to the fact that you do a lot of acronyms. Do you have an acronym for COVID yet?
Actually, I do. COVID.
I knew it.
Oh God.
It's there. I know it's there.
Oh God, I don't know that one by heart, but it has something to do with the fact that the fear, or any power of fear that it has over us, the last letter is D. That fear is descending.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the fear is definitely being minimized, and it's going down. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. So this has been a great tool. This book right here, the affirmations, is awesome. I literally was looking just now. I was like, okay, wait a second. I bet I can put together an acronym just based on your other words. I'll do that later. Maybe during the break, I get that together. I already have community options or own or something. I'm on it.
And that's what it's for. It's to get people's creativity flowing. Because once you look in there, a lot of times, because I'll just come up with these acronyms, and people say, man, oh, wow, I can't do that. So then when they get the book and they're reading them and it's like, oh, wait, that's really not, it's really not hard to come up with an acronym for focus. Finding ourselves creates unlimited success. In fact, let me use a different one because most people know the one for fear. You know, false evidence appearing real. But that's not mine. Mine's for fear is faith eventually attracts resources.
Which is amazing.
So when someone says, like, entrepreneurship, they say it's called stepping out on faith. So that should be something that people are afraid, they have fear. And that's why I said, well, no, faith eventually attracts resources. When you step out on faith and people start to see that you are serious about what you're doing, because when you start out as an entrepreneur, you know, 9 times out of 10, let's make it 11 out of 10, you don't have a lot of support from your immediate family or circle because they're like, what are you doing? You know, are you serious? And then when you show them, yeah, I am serious and I'm committed to this, and they start to see your vision. You know, come on, thinking about it, even the disciples didn't see Jesus's vision when they were first with him. But as you start to see someone, what they really, and you say, oh, wait a minute, now I see what you're talking about. Hey, did you need this resource? Can I help you this way? See, so fear eventually attracts resources.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. On that note, we're going to have to take a quick break. And I have a lot of the words already together, but I don't want to put extra words in between the letters for COVID. But we're going to have that by the end of the show. Okay.
Oh, I got to look
have it. Well, I have it. The D can be distress. The C can be communities operating victoriously in spite of distress. How about that? Boom. All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to be right back with more Live with Erin on the air and my friend Sporty King virtually. What is that? Social distancing, all that good stuff. We got it covered. And we're back. We're having a great time over here at Sporty. Thank you so much for giving us so many tools, like these affirmations. I love that you were talking about fear and how we reframe that to faith.
Eventually attracts
resources. I was like, I was so excited about COVID, I kind of forgot about that. Yes. So faith eventually attracts resources. Yes. That is wonderful. So I know everything with Toastmasters is kind of on hold, but we're still preparing no matter what we're doing. And that's a nugget right there for all of you listening. Now is the time of preparation. Honestly, we're here. We're kind of in this place where we can reconnect with other people, but we can also be silent. We can wait a moment and we can get the creativity. We can get whatever we need. And honestly, with social media, my goodness, we can get training, we can get all kinds of things with the internet. But at the same time, that kind of makes me a little bit more aware of people who don't have access. They don't have access. And I was thinking about that earlier because my husband and I, we were talking about the school districts and how, for me, the virtual learning is wonderful. I'm pretty organized, so the kids are on top of this stuff. It's working out really well, but it made me more aware of the people who might not have internet access at home, or they're, out. And even though like our school district here, Richland 1, and I think part of Richland 2, they have buses where you can come and get the Wi-Fi. But what about if you can't get to the bus? So, I don't know. As far as any other types of community involvement and impact, you are out there. You're amazing. But when we're in a different space, how do you operate?
Well, with the creativity, because what I just did while you were talking there, I just thought of a great acronym. And because, see, you talked about the people who don't have access. Well, if you don't have access, well, guess what? Then you need to have resources.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the
Yes.
A and the R, the access to resources. And so
Mm-hmm.
who needs the access and who needs the resources? Everyone does.
Everybody.
ARE. So every access and resources are needed by everyone. Well, how do they get them? From people who care. So we CARE, create access and resources for everyone. And the C,
Oh,
you know.
yes. I love it. Where's my pen? There it is. Where's my pen? You know, see, since I'm not at the table, I'm like, wait a second, I'm missing something. It's my pen and the notebook, but I have my other stuff. Hold on. Create access and resource. I'm writing that down.
Create access and resources for
For
everyone.
everyone.
And then once you get going with that, now you turn the C to Christ. Christ assures and reassures everyone and every day. See, and so now that's what I do with my glue broadcast. Is just, get that alphabet and you get focused on your creativity and my listeners and my viewers, they're focusing on one letter, and that helps. Now, after you get focused on that letter and you see how it can flow, now you can go to two letters and three letters, and now as your confidence builds, bam, that's what we got.
Yes. Oh, and that is wonderful, because if nothing else, that mind, if we let our minds be completely conditioned by the news, all of those updates and all of the warnings that get retracted, I'm not going there.
Well, that's the key too. At this time, we have to also listen, choose. The CEO could be for choices that we make. Choose your messengers carefully. And now, you're getting a lot of messengers and a lot of noise. So I think the key for everyone is, I heard a great word from my pastor, and he said, I don't watch the news, I keep up with the news.
Right.
Yeah, and I liken it to a soap opera. You can watch a soap opera from Monday to Friday. On Friday, when you reassess the week, they've moved an hour in the plot.
Right. Yes. Keep you going.
Yeah. So, you don't have to check the news every day. There are not going to be any dramatic changes in terms of the virus. So, just keep up with it. But if you keep checking, well, what's the death count now? What's it? You're just storing up negative news for your spirit. And now you call yourself praying, and you do.
It messes you up.
But didn't God say, don't just come to me with problems, pray to me when things are going well?
Yes.
So don't just keep, God, it's at 15,000. God, it's at 16,000. Where are you? God, see, you're starting to doubt God instead of recognizing that, okay, this many people have died. All things work for the good of God. Whatever.
Right. If he allowed it, there's a purpose. He has a purpose. He has a purpose. And, our heart goes out to everyone who's sick and everyone who has lost someone. We'll continue to pray for you, lift you up. But at the same time, what I continuously hear from people who are able to articulate their story, get their story out there. I believe Mr. Como with the news, Chris Cuomo? And then some other people as well. They're just like,
it makes his brother want to fight. I thought of his brother when you said it, Governor Cuomo. Yeah.
Right.
Both of the Cuomos are doing good.
Yes. So it's just like, but you have to fight. You have to fight. And part of that is right up here. Actually, a huge part of it is right up here.
Yeah.
You have to keep going. You have to keep pressing. And the truth is, we don't have control over most of the stuff. We have control over if we stay at home. That's what we have control over. But then, like, for example, my husband, you mentioned he's in the Guard. He's considered essential. So he had to go out. And then he comes home. Now we've adjusted a little bit. We're he comes in through the garage. Nope. You take it off in the garage.
There's that
Put
care
it in the
again.
washing machine.
There's the care again. Create adjustments. Recognize essentials.
Yes. There we go. So it all plays a part. It all plays a part. And that's wonderful. So in this time, I believe that coming together as that community, and we can operate in victory in spite of distress. Yes, that's that COVID. Okay. I'm sorry. It's not really funny, but
No, it's
laughter is
joy.
good medicine. It's good for the soul.
Joy.
Joy.
Yes.
Yes, that's my strength. So, we can do all of these things and we really can be victorious in this time. And I'm thinking of, my messengers, the ones that I do allow in, and several of them are just like, we have to operate in victory. Our minds, our words being so powerful. And I know you agree with that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And we're going to get to more of that when we come back, because I could talk and we could talk for a long time, but it's only a 30-minute show. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more live with Erin on the air. And we're back. My goodness, time is flying. Time is flying. Let me ask you this, because I was thinking about it earlier. Once all of this has resolved, so to speak, and life is really in the new normal, Sporty, what's the first thing you're going to do when you leave the house?
Well, I'm going to do what I do today. See,
Yeah.
one of the terms that I've learned through my service with the National Guard, speaking with our
Mm-hmm.
military, is, see, the new normal is a term people who have been through the deployment cycle have known for years. It's
Yes.
now becoming familiar to the civilian world. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I try to tell people is, look, the new normal isn't coming, it's here.
It's here.
So
Yeah.
I call this the now normal. So therefore, that's why when I say to you,
Oh,
when you say, what's the first thing you're going to do? I'm going to do whatever I do
what
today
we
because
doing?
it's here already. So I've
Mm-hmm.
already started changing my habits. Hey, when
Mm-hmm.
they announce, it's okay, it's safe
Whatever.
to go outside. I'm not running to a sports game to get, with a
Mm-hmm.
group. Then they have, it's either China or Japan, someplace where they thought everything was fine and they lowered their precautions and then it
Right. And
reoccurred.
it's
So yeah,
exploded.
so no,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about, okay, hey, okay, all clear, everybody out into the street, start hugging and everything. No, whatever
No.
adjustments you're making now,
Do
because
it.
the awareness, again, appreciating what, that everybody's a part of it. I think,
Yes.
you appreciate personal space and all of that stuff. All of these are good practices that we need to have anyway. So,
Oh,
um,
yes.
and
Oh,
I
yes.
think, also if you get too focused on, and I'm glad you didn't say when this is over, you said as this moves on,
Yeah.
if you get too focused on that, now you're looking for that day, and that
Right.
expectation is ruining your spirit and your energy
Yes, it
that you
does.
need
It does.
to keep people positive. So everybody
Yeah.
right now, really work on keeping your spiritual energy up and
Mm-hmm.
positive. Don't worry about over apologizing for the jokes and for laughter, because sometimes,
Right.
what they call
That's
nervous
too
laughter,
soon.
so you
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you just have to. So that's my
Mhm.
short answer. Don't ask for the long one, right?
Oh, no. But you know what? That's actually pretty much what I said. So I was on a professional development with the nonprofit that I work with virtually. And they were like, okay, what's the first thing you're going to do? And I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but all I said was, I'm going to wait inside and do what I'm doing until things, they realize that it's not really over, you
Mhm.
know? Just like you said, I'm going to maintain what I'm doing because honestly, the changes that I have implemented, they're actually good.
They work for you.
They're good.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. Honestly. So if nothing else, my kids and I have taken more walks around the neighborhood than ever. They have played in the backyard probably now more in the last month than they have in the past year,
Nice.
just because things are so busy and they typically spend so much time away in school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, I really kind of like this schedule. I'm not going to do any predictions about when school goes back because I'll be looking fall time. That's what I'll be looking for. We're going to continue what we're doing, and just like you said, we have to monitor those messengers and restrict those messengers because we don't want everything going in there.
Right.
You know, and I think that's amazing. So, with all of that being said, you are amazing. You
Thank
are
you.
amazing. I believe we need to make sure that we lift people up, something. I don't know. I didn't ask my husband if I could say this, but we're about to celebrate 15 years, and he said, "Oh, it's almost our 15th anniversary. What are we gonna do?" We're at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, I've been celebrating all month," and he said, "Well, yeah, you have. I think this is the first year you ever have." And I said, "Well," and I wasn't being really facetious. I was being completely honest. I was like, "Well, anything could happen. We can be gone at any moment. Let's
Mm-hmm.
celebrate now.
Yeah.
So let's live life now. Let's do what God has called us to do now. And just because we're not out all the time, there's a way to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
And that creativity will flow if you're open for it, and not crowding your mind with everything else that's
Yeah.
not getting you closer to where you're supposed to be."
Yeah.
So thank you for stepping on the gas.
No problem.
I mean, increasing your messages from Wednesday to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just blessing the world with everything God is giving you. I applaud you, brother. I
Thank you.
applaud you, Sporty King. I do. How are those nieces and nephews? And tell me to count now.
It's at 37. Well, and
The
I've got new.
37.
Oh God, it's a 38. A new one. 2 months ago.
Awesome. And you know what? I will do one prediction. I think you'll probably have at least a couple more in about 8 or 9 months.
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah, the population's about to go up. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yes and no. You got people still maybe a little
Well, you have
social
people
distancing.
going and people coming, but they're in the house. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I have a friend who she ended up passing it to her husband, through her care.
I got you.
It's a much longer story than that. But
Right.
again, it's not a given, ladies and gentlemen. Take the precautions.
Take
Take the
precautions.
precautions. That's a great joke, and
Yeah.
and a great reality. There's when you look at how many babies were born after wars were fought, when
Oh, yes.
all of that
Oh, yes.
stuff is real. But
It is.
again, laughter about it, but then also, let the sobering facts not take you down, but bring you up to say, wow, I'm
Wow.
living this. I'm a part of
Yes.
history. And
History.
history, HIS, his story.
Yes.
And
His
so,
story.
just keep finding ways to pull that, pull God into you and
Yes.
keep him there, because that's where he wants to be.
That's right. That's right.
That's where
What
he
a
is.
wonderful way for us to keep our priorities in order.
Yes.
Yes. Well, awesome. Sporty King, please tell everybody they have not connected with you yet, how they can reach you, brother.
Sportyking.com, SPORTYKING, no space, .com is my website. And the broadcast that you and I have been talking about that I do Facebook Live. But the thing on Facebook Live, if you go in and look for Sporty, you need to go in and look under my birth name.
Yes, your full legal name.
Yes.
Well, maybe not the full one.
Sporty. Just once you start typing RYS, if you can at least remember that, it should finish. But it's RYSPODII. And and I'm it. No, well, actually, there's another Sporty in the world. So anyway, but that's how you can connect with me on Facebook. Go through the website though, and then through there you could also connect to my Facebook from there.
Awesome. Sporty King, Sporty King, the master of listening. Oh, it rhymes.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with me and sharing all of your wonderful nuggets and insights with the world. Oh, what does that say?
Pray until something happens.
Yes, pray until something happens. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, let me get my water. I'll toast to you. I'll toast.
That's not my acronym. That's somebody.
I heard that one before, but that's okay though. That's okay. Pray until something happens. And you guys, thank you so much for joining us in this now normal. The now normal. I like that. Thank you, Sporty. And we will be seeing more of you because we're connecting through sportyking.com and on Facebook. And who knows where all God is going to take you. I do believe that you're doing great things, and it's going to be even greater as long as you're here. So thank you so much. And thank you all for sharing your time with us today. Feel free to share with a friend and invite others to join this life as we live in victory every day. That's live with Erin on the air. Have a great day.